About 5 years ago, I did a video with the tiny little MOOER GE200, and for the price and the feature set that it offered, I was so impressed. They've just come out with a Pro version, and there's actually two incarnations of this. This one, which uses a kind of wall wart style power supply, and another which has a built-in lithium-ion battery so that you can use it without a power supply on there. I'm using the version that uses the wall wart on here, but aside from that, pretty much everything has been upgraded from the old GE200. There's more foot switches, there's more ability to assign the foot switches. You can do some awesome morphing things with the expression pedal and real-time parameter control. There's updated modeling algorithms. There's way more amp models and effects. There's the ability to load in the MOOER GNIR, so you can kind of do captures and load them in there. I'm just going to go through some of my favorite sounds today and basically showcase what I've dialed in and how you use the unit. Like so many of these units out there, I'm only going to scratch the surface with some of the features, but again, I really want to focus on my favorite stuff, and I want to show you how to actually use it. So let's go. I'll take you through a few presets that I have dialed in using the GE200 Pro. Along the way, hopefully I'll show you how this unit actually works and some of the features. This does feel like a big step up from the old GE200, which I did a video with 5 years ago now. That seems like the other day, but they're just the times we're living in, right? PRS DGT straight into the GE200 Pro. That's going out to my audio interface via the XLR outputs. You're not hearing any post-processing on this at all. Essentially, if you're familiar with the other GE series units, this operates in a pretty similar way. Your presets are organized into banks. You can bank down or you can bank up over here. You see each preset in a bank gets a color which corresponds to the foot switches. That's a nice little touch on there. If I select, say, my clean preset over here, and then I press that preset button again, I can enter stomp box mode. And this is totally customizable. I've set it up so I've got tap tempo and then 3 individual effects. Let's hear how that works. If I wanted to exit stomp box mode, choose another preset and then re-enter it, I can hit this button up here. Let's say I wanted to move over to the third sound in here, which is a crunch tone. I can hit that again and take a look at the stomp boxes that I've got on there. I'll take you through a few more sounds in just a second. If I wanted to actually build some presets and edit the sounds on there, I can hit the home button and this will give me a visual representation of the signal chain. And you can see everything is organized into different blocks. You've got a few generic effects blocks, effects A and B. Then you've got a preamp, power amp, and cabinet section for your amp modeling. You've got a dedicated delay and reverb in there. You've got basically every effect under the sun, as you would come to expect from any modern amp modeling device. If I wanted to engage individual effects and then get in and edit them, I've got these buttons along here. So let's say I want to go to the delay. I can hit that. This will bring me up my delay menu. And again, this is a big improvement over the old GE200 just from a user interface perspective. So at the moment, I'm using a tape delay. If I wanted to edit that, I can press this encoder here. I've got a bunch of different options like a sweep delay, a dynamic delay, ping pong, there's a dual delay, a digital, and even a multi-tap delay, which I really like. Let's just go with the dual delay. If I want to go in here and edit any of the parameters, I can then just sort of come along. I want to tweak the mix. I can turn that up over there. If I want to go back to my signal chain, I can hit the home button and then I can come in and edit another effect. So let's just have a look at what's in this preset. I've got a bit of hall reverb. I've got the dual delay on there. I'm using my free cab IR, which is linked in the video description. The power amp that I'm using is the normal 6L6, and I've got the 59 US bass dialed up at the moment. Maybe let's kick in a little bit of the distortion. I'm using the gold clon on there. Let's move over to the next bank because I've got some dirty sounds in here. I'm going to select this lead sound that I've set up. We'll take a look at what's actually in there to get started. So I have the 808 drive set up with the drive at minimum level all the way up for your typical tube screamer boosting a high gain amp thing. The amp that I'm using is in the new boutique category. So you've kind of got all your legacy MOOER amps in there, and then there's some newer ones, which I'm guessing use the new updated algorithms. This is an EVH 5150 channel 3. I'm using the Cali EL34 section over there. No, the UK Gold. I can't read. Again, I've got my free cab IR. You can see where the low cut and the high cut are at there. I have the intelligent noise reducer on there. You can see I've got my volume control all the way up. I've got heaps of gain happening at the moment and a boost, and there's no hiss, which I really like. Then I've got a ping pong delay on and a reverb. Maybe my favorite feature in here is that you can map any parameter that you like to the built-in expression pedal or the extra expression pedal jack if you like, but we're just going to use the built-in one. So what I've done for this patch, if I take a look at no, I don't want to save. I want to go to the expression section over here. You can have this so that you can easily turn the expression pedal on and off as a volume pedal. I really like that. I've got it off at the moment. We take a look at what I've got it mapped to. I actually have the amp gain mapped to the expression pedal. So as I move this up and down, the amp gain is changing, but I've also done the same thing with the delay mix. So with this at a minimum, I've got very little delay and I've got a lot less gain. As I push it forward, not only am I going to get more gain, I'm going to get more delay on there as well. So this can be like an automated cheat code for playing lead guitar. Let's hear it. Such a fantastic feature, and all sorts of different effect combinations come to mind. You know, you could set that up on a kind of shoegazy style patch, which I actually have done over here. I've called it Gaze, and at its minimum, I've got this set up so that there's a little bit of delay and there's a reverse reverb on there. And basically, as I push this pedal forward, it's going to increase the mix on the multi-tap delay, the mix on the reverb, as well as increasing the feedback on the multi-tap delay. I've also got a slow gear style effect engaged over here. If we have a look at the stomp box mode, see I've got the slow gear on. I can kick in a tremolo over here and I can kick in a big muff. So you can create some really, really lovely ambient pads. And I like that in the editor that comes free with this, if you want to control this and set it up from your computer, each block gives you a list of parameters, and underneath that, you can just basically click a box which assigns it to the expression pedal, and it lets you set the minimum and maximum values. You don't need to remember, say, like right-clicking on an Axe Effects or something like that. To me, it's one of the best implementations of real-time parameter control in a modeler, and it's such a massive step up again from the old GE200. So let's have a listen to what this does. There's a lot of possibilities for creative sound design with that. For example, you could map the feedback and the delay time on a tape delay to the expression pedal, as well as like the reverb mix and the amount of distortion. You can absolutely go hog wild with that. Or you can just try some really stock standard stuff like the JCM 800 model. We'll hear that, and then I will kick in a boost. Again, using my free IR. If you like the way this IR sounds, you can get it in the video description. I really like that ping pong delay. The 808 or the clon as a boost into a crunchy amp works really nice as well. I've gone back over to that lead patch that has the real-time parameter control, and I'll kind of nest this expression pedal somewhere in the middle. There is a poly pitch block, so you can kind of do some Pog style stuff in there, and then I'll just kick in a phaser on top of that. Again, this is just a boosted 5153. Before we go, I'll take you through one more patch on here. I've built a little chimey style preset around the UK30 model, so Vox AC30 style thing. I have in the Stompbox mode the analog delay, the tube driver, and the rotary mapped to my foot switches. Furthermore, the delay, as you can see over here, I have set up as a dotted eighth note delay, and I can sync that to the tap tempo switch over here. So let's just hear it as is, then I'll kick in these effects. stop stumps there. If you want to learn more about the GE200 Pro, I'll put a link in the video description. This is such a big step up over the old GE200, from the ease of use with the interface on here to the overall sounds, the variety of effects. But then my favorite thing on here, that expression pedal real-time control of multiple parameters, that along with the stompbox mode on here makes this so much more usable in a live setting, along with the XLR outputs on there. The GE200, I think for the money at the time, was almost unbeatable for what it could do in a small, cheap package. But you'd need to really pad it out to use it in a live context. With this is basically grab and go. Load in your favorite IR, find 3 or 4 amps you really like the sound of, dial in some presets, set up the stompbox mode. If you really wanted to go crazy, you can do some morphing style stuff with the expression pedal. You've got the XLR outs, you've got a USB-C port on there to connect to the free software editor. The software editor makes all of this stuff easier, but I specifically wanted to do it on the unit today. There's MIDI, there's a jack to connect another expression pedal on here. I will say maybe the only thing I don't like about this, and this is my ultimate bugbear with modeling devices, is that the jack that is closest to the right-hand side is not the input. That's where you put the second expression pedal on there. I can just see myself and so many other people having an issue where we plug into that second expression pedal with our guitar and we go, there's no sound, and you sort of freak out. So it's the second one along there. I just feel it should be a universal standard that the furthest right jack is the guitar input on every guitar thing ever. Then you never have to think about it. But like I say so many times, at this price point with this feature set, it's never been a better time to be a guitar player, has it? Even I could live with that little quirk there with the input on there. If you like what I'm doing here on the channel, links to my Patreon and the music that I make in the video description. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.